Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Roblox Hacking Incidents Chronicles. In this series, we will investigate various incidents submitted by you, the viewers. In each episode, we'll take a look at 10 incidents, using the evidence and info you have provided. Once we've gone through the backstory of each incident, I'll explain, with the help of the evidence, whether it's an exploit, a myth, or a confirmed hacking incident. If you want to be a part of the series, submit the hacking incident using the form in the description or by scanning the QR code. You can also join my Discord server, Roblox Hacking Incidents Chronicles Hub. The link is in the description. So, without further ado, let's begin this episode with our first case. Well, the submitter for the first incident of this episode did not provide any evidence to support this case. All we know is that someone made a backdoor to a random game, which the name is unknown, and installed a bomb vest script to ruin the game for others by blowing up other people. The suspect then started shooting people with a gun script and spammed blocks in the server. That's all we know, unfortunately. Looking at the info the submitter provided in this case, we know that the suspect made a backdoor to the game, which is actually one hacking method. Since we don't have any images showing the incident, we will probably never know if it is true. But for now, I'll say that this is possibly a confirmed incident. Case closed. In this case, we got a popular classic game that got exploited a lot. Since its creation in 2008, Apocalypse Rising has been bombarded by exploiters that used menus to either ruin or help players. Most of the time were just ruining their fun. The exploiters could teleport around the map, spawn cars or weapons. Since there were a lot of videos showing people how to install an exploit menu to exploit, Guzmanak, who is the creator of the game, added a firewall to it. But it did not take any longer until the firewall was breached by new exploit methods. Due to lack of moderators in the game and no other way of communicating, since at that time Discord didn't even exist, making reporting useless, Guzmanak gave up on the game and made a new one called Apocalypse Rising 2. Looking at this case, the word exploit is mentioned many times in the info section and the title of the incident. How do we know it is an exploit incident rather than a hacking incident? Daniel Ricciardo provided an image showing a script menu that is used to exploit the game. I have no other things to say than this is an exploit incident. Case closed. Looking closer into this case, we can see that someone got access to the game and added a teleporter to another game. This game has a different map compared to the original game. The difference is that the map is a hill inspired by the video The Mario Channel Mario's Challenge by SMG4. When looking up when the incident took place, we can see that the incident took place on August 9th, 2020. However, if we look up Donkey Kong Boyu's profile, who this 29 suspects is behind the incident, we can see that he has a game called Forever Young Daycare that was created one day before the incident took place. This could mean that he really was behind the incident. If we enter the game, it looks exactly the same as the place in the evidence. According to the YouTuber Flash, Forever Young Daycare was not compromised once, but multiple times. This looks more like a hacking incident than an exploit. The reason why is that Donkey Kong Boyus must have added a teleporter to the game that was hacked, since his place that the players were teleported to looked very similar to the evidence that this 29 submitted. If a game got compromised, the game is hacked. This is because the suspect then have access to the game in studio by getting access to the creator Onilx's account. Since the game got compromised not once, but multiple times, this incident is classified as a hacking incident. Case closed. So, we got two different incidents in one case. We're gonna start with natural disaster survival. In the natural disaster survival incident, we can see that one guy is flying away like he is using an exploit menu. Not really sure if he got flinged, but if we take a very close look into it, it looks more like he's using an exploit to avoid the acid rain. This is the only time we can see that the user is doing it. After further investigation, I have found the name of that user. His name is McClownerson, a user that joined Roblox on June 13th, 2020. That's all I can say about this incident. Moving on to the town incident that took place in the game Town, the clip that ItzBIULD submitted showed that the user suddenly appeared and then vanished. Not really sure if it is an exploit, but it could be it, since when you join the game or reset your avatar, you get a white outline on your avatar, which indicates that a force field is activated, until it later disappears. That's all I can say about this incident. Both of them could be exploits, since the first incident involves a player suddenly flying away with what it could be an exploit menu. Same goes for the second incident, which the avatar appears and then vanishes. Sadly, there are not much more to talk about it. So yeah, this case is not classified as a hacking incident, but rather possibly an exploit. Case closed. There's not much to talk about in this case. Not much info about what happened, and the only screenshot I got is a screenshot that does not even show the game Sword Fight on Heights, but a random game that looks like it came out in 2010. All I know is that the suspect is Dignity, who is, according to Roblox Wiki fandom, rumored to be an exploiter who was one of the top 100 posters on the Roblox forums. We have no evidence that shows that Dignity hacked or exploited the games, so I can say that this is classified as possibly an exploit. Case closed. Well, not much to say about this case, since the only thing its fasticilitybtw wrote was natural disaster survival. However, thanks to his video that he provided with his case, we can see what type of an incident and who is behind it. When playing the clip, we are welcomed to a horrible sound of a machine and gunshots that goes in a loop. Then a little bit later in the clip, we can see that someone fleeing the guy in the video by shaking the lobby. Looking at the shot, we can see that one guy is spamming hacked by bad socks, which indicates that this guy may be behind the mess. In the end of the clip, one player is spotted flying in the air. This clearly looks like an exploit. The reason why is that if a person hacks the server, it's called exploit. You don't have access to the game through Studio, but rather using a menu to find weaknesses in the game's codes. This gives bad socks the advantage to ruin players' experience by adding scripts that is not in the game, like shaking the entire lobby so players flings away, or causes one player to fly while glitching. This is why this case is classified as an exploit. Case closed. In the video that Gingerbread Roblox sent, we can see that once a new game of Skywars begins, one user is seen teleporting and then flying to kill the player. After trying to avoid the attack, the player dies and the suspect wins over it. Unfortunately, it's not possible to see who the suspect is, since the camera was moving all the time, making the player's name blurry. The only thing we know about the suspect is that he has a black hair, yellow skin, white shirt and black pants. That is all I can say about this case. This looks like an exploit, since if a player is spotted flying anywhere when it is possible to do that, the player uses an exploit menu. I have nothing else to say than this case is classified as an exploit. Case closed. The only thing I got from the submitter is a video by TheSmootGurl. This video shows an incident that took place on Natural Disaster Survival on January 9th, 2014. In the video, we can see that someone is causing a mess on the server by blinding everyone with disco lights and play the song Runaway by Sunstroke Project and Olea Tira. This will make it impossible to survive a disaster when you can't see anything in-game. However, according to the submitter, a user by the name of FocusV3 is the player behind the incident. How do we know for sure that this is a user who caused the mess? This can be thanks to this image from the video. At part 4 minutes and 46 seconds, a minute after everyone who were on the island died of the tsunami, one player can be spotted flying around the server. Then a sign comes up showing who survived the disaster. And what can we see here? The only player who wasn't on the island, who also is the only survivor, FocusV3. This is our only evidence showing that this player is behind the incident. As I mentioned in the last two cases, this is a typical exploit incident involving an exploit menu. It's both a myth and an exploit, since the title of the incident is not true, since 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 was a test account and never an exploiter, while the incident itself can be described as an exploit due to the player using a menu. Case closed. So we got 2 incidents revolving the game Murder Mystery. Looking at these 2 clips, these were taken in 2 different days. L2011TMW claims that these incidents took place in 2014 and are very similar to each other. Here we can see a pile of bodies that has the text noob above. L2011TMW also claims that Cool Kid is responsible for these incidents. The problem is that it's impossible to see if Cool Kid was on the same server as the person who recorded the clips. According to Roblox Wiki fandom, the same year this incident took place, an anonymous user hacked Murder Mystery by freezing the game timer of when a round ends. I don't really know if spotting multiple bodies was a part of the hacking incident. These could be hacking incidents or exploits. The reason why I believe that these incidents looks more like exploits is that Roblox Wiki fandom never mentioned there will be a lot of bodies piling up in a lobby. L2011TMW, who submitted this case, did not mention that the suspect froze the timer in-game. I have no other reason than to classify this case as an exploit. Case closed. According to obbyistguywhodoessomeguides, who submitted this case, mentioned that somewhere in late 2019 or early 2020 there used to be a waterpark game that had a model in the water called Error, which freaked him out. If you got closer to the model, you will instantly die or send you to a random place in the middle of nowhere. That is all I know of this case. No evidence and no name of that waterpark game that may be gone forever. This could mean 3 things. 1. Someone got access to the game by Studio and added a model that has a script to reset or teleport your avatar. 2. One player used an exploit menu to add a model to do these things to your avatar. Or 3. The creator added a model there for some reason. The problem is that I can't determine if this is a hacking incident or not. This is why for the first time in this series, this gets the unknown staple. making this case impossible to solve. Case closed. And there we have it for this episode. We covered a total of 1 possibly confirmed hacking incident, 5 exploits, 1 confirmed hacking incident, 2 possibly confirmed exploits, and 1 unknown incident. I want to thank everyone who submitted their incidents via the forums, including Daniel Ricciardo, This29, ItzBIULD, She's Sure 2, It's Facility by the Way, Gingerbread Roblox, L2011 TMW, and obbyistguywhodoessomeguides. If you want your name to appear here, submit the hacking incident today by using the form in the description or by scanning the QR code. For more content, check out my Discord server. I'll host events one day and release sneak peeks of upcoming episodes. The link is in the description. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll receive a notification when my next video is out. Stay safe and be awesome.